The apparent drowning of a 5-year-old boy over the weekend in a St. Louis Park apartment pool is a sad reminder of the dangers posed by water. Tavon T.J. Lamar Combs Jr. died after he was found underwater in a pool at the Park West Apartments in the 1400 block of Colorado Avenue South. Welcome to Park Update, the weekly show that gives you the latest news about what's happening throughout St. Louis Park. I'm Scott Smith, and this is your news for the third week of July. The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office has confirmed the boy was visiting the complex with his mother for a birthday party last Saturday and was discovered around 2:45 p.m. in about 5 feet of water. CPR was administered, but Combs was pronounced dead at 4 p.m. at the Hennepin County Medical Center in Minneapolis. Minnesota's new booster laws are now in effect, and this means changes for St. Louis Park residents. Park Update's David Ritter has more about how this new law affects you.
Scott, research shows that a child that wears a booster seat reduces their chance of injury by as much as 60%. And the new law that went in effect just this month is just for that reason. The new law requires anyone who is under the age of 8 or the height of 4 feet 9 inches to now use a booster seat. Booster seats are necessary to make sure that the seatbelt is properly fitted to an individual. When the seatbelt is properly fitted, injuries can be reduced. A good sign that someone may need a booster seat if it rubs against the child's neck or if the belt is tucked behind their back. If an individual fails to remember this new law, be prepared for a $50 fine. For Park Update, I'm David Ritter.
Thanks, David. For more information on how the St. Louis Park Fire Department can help you install booster seats properly in your car, visit www.stlouispark.org. St. Louis Park's emergency food program STEP needs your help during these tough economic times. For almost 35 years, STEP, located in northern St. Louis Park, has fed tens of thousands of community members throughout the park. STEP now faces challenges of their own in paying for their space while still meeting the ever-growing need of the community. STEP workers are currently seeing a 200-person increase per month over last year's numbers. If you can contribute food or clothing to STEP or get involved, visit the current site at 2239 Edgewood Avenue South or call 952-925-4899. In school news, 5 St. Louis Park High School sophomores are back in town after performing well last month at National History Day at the University of Maryland. The event featured 500,000 students from all across the country participating in events where students conducted extensive research related to an annual theme, then presented their findings in one of 4 categories: exhibits, documentaries, performances, or papers. This year's theme centered around the individual in history. Sophomore Katie Karen placed second nationally in her exhibit board category, collecting $500, and Alex Stitt and Taylor Delaney finished third in their website group. Charlie Shapiro and Ben Gibbs also participated in the event. Congratulations to all of them. St. Louis Park native Christopher Straub will be a contestant on the hit television show Project Runway. Straub, age 30, currently lives in Shakopee and is a visual merchandiser and freelance designer with his own line of underwear called Cricket Syndicate. Project Runway is a reality television series on Lifetime Television that focuses on fashion design and is hosted by supermodel Heidi Klum. The 6th season of Project Runway begins at 10 p.m. August 20th on Lifetime. And that's a look at St. Louis Park news for the third week in July. Still ahead, news in the neighborhood and the History Minute. Up next, Jamie Zwilling with your City Council update.
In City Council news this week, Councilwoman Sue Sanger is hitting the campaign trail. Sanger, who has served as Ward 1 Councilwoman since 1995, announced her plans to seek re-election to the City Council last week. Sanger's 3 colleagues representing the rest of the city's wards have all announced that they will not seek re-election. Filing for office closes at 5 p.m. Tuesday, July 21st. In other council news, the City Council has begun discussions on creating an urban reforestation program to deal with emerald ash borer. The invasive species has been found in the Twin Cities and could mean the loss of several thousand ash trees on St. Louis Park boulevards. The council plans to discuss a policy in the future that could include the use of proceeds from excess city land sales to help fund the program. And that's your City Council update for the third week in July.
On this week's History Minute, let's hop on board the old Milwaukee Road and take a ride back to the St. Louis Park Railroad Depot. The Milwaukee Road Depot, site of the St. Louis Park Historical Society today, was built back in 1887, originally located right on the railroad tracks near Wooddale and 36th Street on Alabama Avenue, a block east of Jorvik Park. The earliest record of service to St. Louis Park appears on a May 1893 timetable, when passenger service was established. The train made 2 trips into and to from Minneapolis per day. Passenger service was discontinued in 1955, and freight service halted and the depot closed in 1968. The only furnishing in the relocated depot was an oil can. Marie Hartman and her group were successful in obtaining many artifacts, often from the Milwaukee Road. The pot-bellied stove was shipped in by rail from Denver. The newly formed Historical Society hosted a grand opening of the building on June 17, 1971. The building became the first park property on the Register of National Historic Places.
Come out under the stars for an evening of family swimming and fun with the St. Louis Park Lions Club at the Aquatic Park. The event on Saturday, July 18th from 7:30 to 10 p.m. will feature swimming, sliding, splashing, music, and concessions. The cost is $3 per person and $7 per family. The event is sponsored by the Lions Club, and all proceeds will go towards park improvements in St. Louis Park. In the event of inclement weather, the event will be canceled. Cancellation notice will be provided at 952-924-2567. If you drive past the former Wagner's Drive-In these days, you may just feel like you've entered a new galaxy. After a major renovation, the newly remodeled Galaxy Drive-In is trying to revitalize a piece of Americana. St. Louis Park resident Steve Schussler, creator of themed restaurants such as the Rainforest Cafe, bought the 550-square-foot restaurant just off Highway 7 in late April. He's put $850,000 into renovating and rebranding the restaurant as the Galaxy Drive-In. However, even with the new name and look, much of the original style and menu will remain. The former owner has even stayed on as general manager. Be sure to check out this great drive-in restaurant in the park. Pilgrim Cleaners needs your help in raising money during their annual Scouting for Uniform Drive event. During the month of July, all 25 Pilgrim Cleaners locations will be collecting Boy Scout and Cub Scout uniforms. All vintages and sizes are accepted. Pilgrim Cleaners will then deliver them to the Northern Star Council BSA for distribution to Scouts in need. Cash donations are also accepted in order to purchase new uniforms. Send your donations to the address provided below. In senior news, join others for a picnic at Brookview Park in Golden Valley. The event will be put on by the Minnesota Senior Federation from noon to 2 p.m. on Friday, July 17th. The event features free hot dogs, chips, and beverages. Attendees are asked to bring a dish to pass. Door prizes will also be given. For more information, contact Mary Ann Beneke at the email or phone number below, or visit the Minnesota Seniors website at www.minnesota.seniors.org. National Night Out is almost here, and this means that our registration forms must be in by Friday, July 27th. Visit www.stlouispark.org to get a form that provides all the details on organizing an event. And that is your news in the neighborhood.
Thanks for watching this installment of Park Update. For Les Farrell and Jamie Zwilling, I'm Scott Smith. We'll be back again next week.